Welcome back to Rival Esports and welcome to our final matchup of the night, our final game of the day. Yes, the final game, the final spot will be going to one of these two teams. Yeah, of course. Either Dead Rabbits or 2BIM and 1BAM will be chasing off for the final spot of our 4 qualified teams to join our 4 invited teams. And again, if you want to know who those guys are, then you want to wait around till the very end of today's broadcast. We will be revealing it live on the airwaves. I'm the Eternal J. Joining me is Digital Bacon. We just saw a pretty interesting series. Not quite Game 5. We broke the cycle. I think we're the curse in this case. But let's talk a little bit about this new team. The new teams that we're seeing, Dead Rabbits and 2BIM 1BAM. Some different names that we've noticed and recognized, you know, from the bubble scene. A lot of regular bubble scene players. So talk me through this one, Bacon. What do you think?
Yeah, so first of all, Dead Rabbits, we got to see them earlier on today on stream. They look like a strong side. Mexa, for me, has been bouncing around these Spanish teams and putting on a lot of assistance to them, which is a bit strange coming from an English lad. But on the opposite side, this is one that interests me quite a lot. 2BIM 1BAM, Stake, Nachatao, and Justice, and they even have Sebadam as a sub. This is a team with a lot of promise to them. Stake and Nachatao, of course, being 2 very strong Spanish players. And Justice, after that move from Dutch Bim Bam, let's not go into that, of course, here. But this will be an interesting one, how this team stacks up, because they've got 3 players, well, 4 if you do include Sebdam, that have been very strongly incorporated into the bubble scene of EU for ages now. Not being able to throw out a massive performance, but here today could be the start of something new, maybe, because this is a new team formed together. And who knows, if they can make it through today into tomorrow, they could have a great run, couldn't they, Jay?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it could well be a fun sort of squad. Essentially, you know, a lot of repping that particular team in 2BIM 1BAM. So, you know, certainly representing the Bim Bam style, I guess you could say, from that sort of general region of the world. So, yeah, I'll be curious to see how well they'll do as this 3-man unit. I don't think we've seen them play together as the three players. I believe that Nachatao and Justice might have some history together, but I can't remember off the top of my head.
Nachatao and Stake have the history together, bud.
Yeah, you're right. Excuse me. Sorry, I didn't have any notes coming into this one. Unfortunately, I kind of rolled out of bed just to do this whole broadcast. Yeah. So yeah, let's get some predictions in real quick before we get into the matchup, because apparently we are almost ready to go. So Bacon, I'm guessing you're gonna go with 2BIM 1BAM.
Yeah, that's the one I'll go for. Probably 3-1 again to 2BIM 1BAM. Dead Rabbits looking strong from what we saw earlier, but don't think they're going to be off the same level. You know, these are players on the up from Dead Rabbits, whereas 2BIM 1BAM, it's just a safer bet, essentially, Jay.
Yeah, absolutely, certainly the safer bet, and of course you can place your own bets, not literally, not physically. Of course, we
don't condone bets in here.
Well, I mean, if you want to, then you can make bets with your own individual friends. But more importantly, you can vote in the Twitch chat for bragging rights. Who did you think was going to win? Exclamation mark BIM, B-I-M, for the 1BIM 1BAM side, and exclamation mark DR for the Dead Rabbits. If you so wish to make your predictions of who you think is going to win.
That's annoying me on the overlay. The Dead Rabbits logo is on the BIM side. Sorry, that's just like really throwing me off. There we go.
Well, regardless, we're about ready to jump into this matchup. So let's get ready to go. In the blue side, it will be Dead Rabbits. In the orange side, it will be 2BIM 1BAM. The favorites representing the right-hand sides of your screen. So let's get ready to roll, I believe. Players doing a little bit of a shuffle.
The rain dance. They weren't sure if they were meant to join yet, but they're fine. So without further ado, we get onto the pitch and onto the match. Of course, it is going to be Dead Rabbits in the blue and 2BIM 1BAM in the orange, Jay.
A good start by Stake. He threads the needle past 3 players. 8 seconds in, and 2BIM 1BAM will get the first goal on their board here.
This Stake is done so early. It's pretty much blue still, Jay. It's still bloody. Not going to be in the frying pan for that long. 8 seconds all it took to come out with a delicious little goal.
Look at Stay go as well. Dribble past the first man and the second. Not quite the third.
Not really.
Casaprima will be able to get out of the way. So needs a bit more time on the frying pan here today, Bacon. Nachatao Able to get it over to the blue half, continue the pressure going for his squad though, as Justice goes over to the right-hand corner, in with a demo as well, taking out Mexa. Prima will still be able to hold his control. Stake up off the backboard, Nachitao getting back to Justice a little bit too far away to get the challenge in, so Luxor can hold the ball into the midfield for the moment. Justice bounce back into Stake's position, good pass, but a little bit out-positioned.
Yeah, the pre-jump there, of course, coming in for a Stake, they're super hard to get. You're sort of jumping in and hoping you know roughly where the ball's going to be, but it comes down to in-flight adjustments, and they're super hard to come around.
Casa Prima challenge over to the corner as Luxor bounces off the backboard. Justice can take it back down the other end of the field. Casa Prima up and in. Nachitao will get demoed out as Casa Prima continues to hold the ball control past one man over the Luxor. Good pass, but Nachitao there with a defensive as Casa Prima and Nexa are forced to fall back. Nachitao will continue the pressure again for the boys over in orange. 2 bin 1 bam. Having everything over in that blue half. Only a couple of breakaways, and so far they have been pretty fruitless for the boys over on the Dead Rabbit side. Ball in, a good shot for Nachitao. It's going to go too far wide. You can thank Casa Prima for that.
Yeah, and we're seeing lots of seeing loads of little demos come out. That's fine, Stick's got it. Justice with an absolute banger over here, but that crossbar, no, it ain't getting past him.
For a couple of seconds, some of these really good challenges and shots could go in. It felt like they were for a few seconds on both sides of the field. But in the end, we remain at that 1-goal deficit, only a 1-0 for 2 bin 1 bam. We've got the pressure once again, backboard in, Justice falls back, Stake comes in over from the left-hand side, bounce over from the corner onto the backboard, on towards Justice's position. Nachitao will come forward and chip it up. Next up, his own control here, challenged again, Casa Prima booms it over, Justice is in position to try and deny. Luxor also there to intercept, and Justice just about puts the ball out of position. Ball in, Mexa and Casa Prima fall back and try and find their own angles. Tee up for the first. Nachitao booms it past one, but Luxor also in position on the rotation. Again, booms it back downfield, trying to get some of the pressure going. But so far, pressure not leading to shots for the Dead Rabbit side.
No, and that's because 2 bin 1 bam had put in a lot of strength in their spacing. Essentially, in their defense, you'll notice there's always one guy lingering about net, and then the second guy into the corner, their own corner, of course, to where the ball's going to be cleared out from. They can read the exit routes from Dead Rabbits because they're pretty standard. Dead Rabbits must be fairly new to each other team at the moment. So they're going for very standard rotations and all of that jazz. And 2 bin 1 bam are just reading them brilliantly to be able to hold off everything.
Stake and Nachitao over in the blue half, forced to fall back. Luxor can boom it back downfield. Nachitao again there with a challenge over to the sideboard, missing out, no points to boost. Justice comes up. Casa Prima booms back down. Stake in, Mexa out. Justice also bumped out of the way back over to the orange half, which actually might favour the 2 bin 1 bam side as they've got more players on the defensive. As Mexa tries to break away, passing to Luxor, he misses the ball. Crucial stop because now Justice can break away. Again, go to the backboard, look for his second touch. That is going to go close to the target, but will not go in. 60 seconds on the clock. Nachitao will get back off the backboard into the ceiling. Crease, good challenge again by the backline defensive of the Dead Rabbit side. 60 seconds remain. Casa Prima goes away. Justice on the backboard. Casa Prima will be there to clear it out. Nachitao, good shot on target. Mexa over to the corner, 100 points of boost, and he will be able to control for the most part, but they've got to get a counter-attack. They can't afford to dilly-dally in the blue half.
Yeah, and this is now becoming a bit of a clutch situation for the Dead Rabbits. They need a goal, and they need it fast. You can see a lot of desperation. Justice, though, brilliant little move downfield, definitely putting a lot of pressure on. Very close to getting a goal as well with that, but of course, defender gets him out of the way. You'll notice here that the side of 2 bin 1 bam are just quite happy now to stick.
Oh, nice.
One goal. Justice once again dragging this ball away, and it is just because it's such a great defensive move to take the ball downfield. Look, if anyone's going to challenge him, they've got to get right up in his grill, and he was able to get it so close to the net that it did not matter. He's getting that second goal and the first game secured for 2 bin 1 bam.
Beautiful flip from Justice, and not much they could have done about that with the aerial dribble. Now 16 seconds to score 2 on the part of the Dead Rabbits, and just so far it's not been their day. Stake passed into Nachitao, good challenge by Luxor, but that's as far as it looks to go. Casa Prima's got to score this goal right now, as one good challenge should be able to secure it. One good shot, Luxor takes it up and over to the centre line. He needs to get that one on target. because there's going to be no time to try and score another hit. 2 BIM, 1 BAM with the opening game of the series, and only 2 goals scoring it as well. It looked like it was going to be a 1-goal game, but basically the entire game, you know, the early shot that came in from State, the early goal, and Dead Rabbits just couldn't find a response for basically 3 or 5 minutes.
Yeah, and it's a little bit of a weird one we look at it. He's changing goal explosion. 1 second, we just got from Steak. Because Justice left and rejoined. Okay. You do you, Justice. Sure. You know what, Jay? Let's have a little bet. What goal explosion has he changed to? Are we thinking it's going to be the Stay Puffed new explosion from the Ghostbusters one, or is it the poof? You think it's got to be the poof?
If you're going to change to anything, you have to do the poof, man. Come on.
yeah, I guess. We haven't seen the Dual Dragons in ages.
No, we haven't. That's another good one.
I like the
I think it's kind of fallen out of. It's kind of fallen out of trend, essentially. You know, that one. That one used to be quite popular, didn't it? But nah, not to be these days. Regardless, though, back on track with the series itself. So far, the 2 BIM 1 BAM side have looked extremely impressive. Again, very simple stuff coming in from them to be able to score a couple of good goals, not allow their opponents to get really anywhere in terms of the pressure. Again, they had some pressure on the Dead Rabbits, but they weren't able to hold any sort of good shots, and they weren't able to convert that pressure into any goals. So that's really going to be the improvement factor for these boys in game 2. Because once again, we'll start things off in the blue half. No shots coming in, no aggressive punishments. As actually they try to slow things down a little bit on the part of 2 BIM 1 BAM. Not going for the opening goal that they did on the part of State early on in game 1. Yeah, good clear will come through. It felt like a backboard play. Could have come in there from the boys in blue, but they're also not going to have any backboard play of their own, and no net play for that, for example. No one in net, completely open for Stake first, already on the board.
That's it. Luxor was last man back. Casa Prima, they're in that situation. I know it's hindsight, it's 2020 of that. It should have been still rotating back to net, but he thought he'd be able to quickly cut in and pick up the ball. Not going to happen, and it is super unfortunate. Oh, Justice is trying this again. Oh.
He almost made it work again as well.
That goal explosion.
Casa Prima able to just block it out the line. Stake and Nachitao trying to set up Justice and try to have his own opportunities. Flick up 5 points of boost. Luxor also bouncing away. Stake back passes to Nachitao. He'll be able to hold the control and keep the pressure going. Casa Prima bumps out. Justice there for a shot. Backboard play into Stake, but he's falling back for boost. He will hold down the midfield control as he uses what little he has to keep the pressure going here for 2 BIM 1 BAM. Luxor also missing out, giving a bit of room. Actually, Mexa comes in to try and cut that down on the part of the 2 BIM 1 BAM side. It's Dead Rabbits. Again, a bit of pressure over to a corner and onto the backboard, but haven't converted it into any shots so far in this matchup. Nachitao can return. Stake here trying to account for Luxor, but in the end, we're taken away by Casa Prima. So over to the corner. Further shots coming into the backboard, but cleared away by Dead Rabbits players.
Yeah, and the Dead Rabbits now just focusing heavily on defense. Luxor at the in a little bit of whiff there. They got to focus on their rooting our defense a little bit more. Oh, that's super unfortunate for Justice.
A little bit unfortunate for Stake there, but in the end, a recovery play that was probably not going to go well anyway. So, be happy with their first goal lead if they can get that second. I mean, it took them a whole game to get the second goal anyway. So, you know, don't fret too much if you're a 2 BIM 1 BAM fan. Certainly, they're not fretting at all. As Justice goes for the flick, and he makes it work this time. Hey, it's the beach balls.
Hey.
We speculated and speculated, and that's something we didn't actually think of. So there you go. Beach balls in 2-0 for the 2 BIM 1 BAM side.
Yeah, happy little surprise there for us. I like it. Good stuff, Justice.
3 minutes to go as well for the turnaround on the part of the Dead Rabbits. Couple of good shots. Ooh, almost there from Luxor. Mexa comes in and Justice is able to block it off. Luxor can't recover as well over to the corner. So it's just Justice. Bring it back over. Mexa. It up for Luxor. Bounce back off the backboard, looking for his dunk down, and he will make it happen. There you go. Finally, a little bit of a breakaway, a little bit of a backboard play, a little bit of pressure that works up to a goal this time for Dead Rabbits.
Yeah, I was talking about the roots, and this is a prime example of it. Mexa putting out high, straight up, setting up what is the initial attack for Luxor there, being able to move it downfield himself, off the backboard down. That was just such a brilliant little sequence coming out from Dead Rabbits, and was such a quick turnaround in the attack that Two Bin, One Bam had no hope in hell of being able to defend it.
Justice off the backboard. Maxa and Luxor again to the backboard of their own opponent's half, looking for the shot in, but a little bit late as Mexa that allows Justice just to insert himself in, deny the play with a 50-50 challenge. Casa Prima again there with another follow-up, and Stake now with a breakaway. Justice is there in the center line, able to receive. Ball up, Casa Prima into the backboard, Stake up, Nachital there for a second dunk down opportunity. It's all to Justice to come forward, but he's a little bit too far back, playing a bit more passively, realizing that the one-goal lead is at stake here for the play. Oh, nice from Justice, and Nachital set up perfectly for the shot. 3-1 on the board for 2 Bin, 1 Bam.
Yeah, that just downfield, Justice getting the teeniest, tiniest little touch of the ball, set up brilliantly for Nachital. No one in defense even knew Justice was lurking up in the air. He was almost Batmaning across, you know? Just completely unseen, a shadow to the defenders.
Impressive stuff so far. Again, beautiful from the 2 Bin, 1 Bam side. 3-1 as Justice gets up, trying to set up Nachital again. Blocked off by one player going high on the part of the Dead Rabbit side. Stake. And then out, Luxor booms back out of the box. 25 points of boost as Justice gives it up to Nachital. Pass back to Justice. Beautiful sequence again. Close. Backboard play in for Stake to come in with a strike. He's a bit out of position. Nachital again. Oh, what an angle! Beautiful, beautiful, and even more beautiful.
I hope Stake feels bad that he stole this, because that was brilliant from Nachital. Just to linger about, see it, and the quick reactions to be able to get the flick. God damn it, he's good.
Is looking more the better for 2 Bin, 1 Bam down to the center line. Justice will come up, try and dribble in. Not a lot of boost to try and come attack here. Oh no, not again. Okay, next up.
The defense story, he got that flip reset so early. It was so cleanly done as well. They knew what was coming for them.
60 seconds, 3 goals to some out for the Dead Rabbit side, and if they keep playing like this on 2 Bin, 1 Bam, it might already be over for this series, let alone this game. And backboard plays coming in, Casa Prima will be able to hold the defensive down. Stake passes into Nachital, good sequence again, infield pass, and now these guys are looking pretty scary, if I do say so myself.
What a set play there, Stake into Nachital, perfect. You could not ask for a better piece from any other team. This 2 Bin, 1 Bam side is really, really ramping it up. This could be a team to really be scared of tomorrow.
Justice to Nachital, almost to the net. Casa Prima actually blocks it down. And there you go. Stake, midfield control, 30 seconds left again to the center line. Casa Prima will actually set up Mexa to take it over to the corner, only temporarily. Back passes will come forward. Casa Prima will tee it off, try dribble in against Stake. If he can beat him out, then might look pretty good, but Justice there for the counter, there for the defensive. Nachital over to Justice again for the passing play. That actually is on target as well, and it almost went in, but stopped by the small touch and the crossbar on the part of the Dead Rabbit side. In the end, it won't mean much. A 5-1 scoreline is impossible to recover at this stage in the game, and it will be killed on the floor for 2 Bin, 1 Bam to take a 2-0 match point here in our final match of the Open Qualifiers.
Yeah, and what a statement after that game 1, Jay, where it was 1-0. Yeah, what a statement to come into this and just absolutely sweep the rug up from underneath Dead Rabbit's feet and knock them on their asses. Like, 5-1 is a massive goal differential, and 2 Bin, 1 Bam made that look easy. Justice massively turned it up, of course, around the pitch and with his solo drags. But we have to say, for me, Nachital's the one that sort of is swept in out of nowhere to be able to be a massive striking force to this team. 6 shots from that lad alone.
Yep.
I mean, Justice did put on 7, but Nachital really stepping up. And that first game he was a little bit quiet in comparison. This game, he's finally got into the swing of things.
Brilliant shooting from all the 2 Bin, 1 Bam, really highlighting the pressure that they had over the course of that series, you know. Dead Rabbits, the same could kind of be said, but a lot less shots. I mean, 4 overall converted to only 1 goal in the course of the entire game. And you've got to step it up, you know. You've got to try and find that pressure, you know, to convert that pressure, into some actual goals, which is the one thing Dead Rabbits have been just struggling against 2 Bin, 1 Bam so far. So, You know, I'm not sure whether this will end up being a reverse sweep, Bacon. I have my doubts, I won't lie. And therefore, I believe this one actually might be the sweep. You know, we've seen the 5 games, the 4 games, now we'll see the 3 games in the course of these, over the course of today's broadcast. So,
speaking about seeing things, I can see Twitch chat trying to speculate on who the invited teams are tomorrow.
Yes. If you do want to know,
it has sort of stolen one of our announcements away from us. With the Veloce side being on the side, but that still means we got 3, which you've got to wait until the end of this series to find out.
Yeah, potentially after this game, we'll announce the final few teams that will be joining them over in the invited portion of the tournament. So make sure you stick around for that if that's so interesting. For now, though, game 3 underway, and again, it's a positive start for the 2 BIM, 1 BAM side. They're out in the blue half looking for their first couple shots. Stake, good challenges as well. Balls into the backboard, Justice again challenging. 82 points of boost picked up from the 100 over in the corner. Casa Prima tees up and over, beaten out by Stake. Justice is also out here to the corner. Mexa also over and about. Stake comes up and into the midfield. Casa Prima, a bit of an open net, actually, the demo in from Stake, but Nachitao also on the rotations. Will get back in time off to the backboard, leaving it for Justice, who gets the challenge as well. No! Casa Prima gets it out of the way and now tries to break away into the orange half, but it's only so successful. Luxor will still set him up. Casa Prima there with a dunk down opportunity, and the counter attack is great from Dead Rabbits. Finally, a little something that goes positive in their way.
Yeah, Luxor here getting credit to the goal because no one touched it. Of course, Justice in net had to put himself trying to just predict where his opponents were going to hit the ball to. Because naturally, you've got 2 players up. Of course, one of the 2 is going to go for it, and you just got to bank on something. And then everyone leaving it. I don't know what you can call that apart from some weird, wacky, out-of-the-box, abstract Vincent van Gogh stuff going on.
It might be the one goal that separates them here in this matchup. Could still well be a pretty positive affair, but Stake want to try and change this about. Want to try and get 2 BIM, 1 BAM back in contention for the lead. They've got it in the blue half. Good breakaway again for the 50-50. Goes back up off to the ceiling. Stake there to challenge. Casa Prima bounces back to the center line. Justice is there to receive it. Luxor is back to receive it on the blue half all the same. Mexa beaten out by Nachitao. Can't get it on target. It will only go to the corner. Casa Prima and Luxor beaten out by Stake, and 1 good challenge is all he needs. 1 good 50-50 to outplay the last man of the defense, and in first on the board for 2 BIM, 1 BAM. They have equalized.
Yeah, Stake coming in, super good position in the center to receive any type of pass, being able to give himself enough space to get up into the air, but also being close enough that he can get quickly to the ball on the ground. The 50-50 setup was great by Nachitao, essentially forcing that from his opponents. It was just a well-structured attack, Jay, there.
Stake, Nachitao, Justice playing in, backboard play from Justice himself. Casa Prima and Mexa both on the defensive angles here. Stake will come up and over, try and take back against the likes of Mexa. Nachitao, they get some sort of combobulation into the corner, but in the end they're going to play away. Good pass up. Oh, this could be great, but Stake disrupts it. And now things are starting to look up for it here for the Dead Rabbits. You know, they are starting to get the pacing going. They are starting to get some passing plays, and now the pressure is starting to turn into shots. In fact, the counter-attacks are turning into shots, and some of those shots are also a couple goals.
Yeah, and one thing you'll notice which really hurt them in the second game, Jay, was that they did not have the pace they had in the first one. They picked it back up. Now you can see Casa Prima trying to jump in for that. It's not going to hurt them a mass amount. Luxor should be able to get onto this. Whew, close right now for that one, as he got lucky that he was able to attack at the right time, so that, of course, the attacker couldn't get to net. Stake, unfortunately, had to go wide. I'm liking what the Dead Rabbits are doing to pick this up and change things around.
Close from Mexa. Casa Prima here to the sideboard. Flick back in. Stake will pass up to Justice, who goes high. Beats out Luxor. Nachitao there to challenge. Mexa will beat him out. Casa Prima trying to get into position in time. Beats out 2 defenders. The net's open. Mexa and Casa Prima trying to find their angles, but no player gets a touch in. Mexa comes in out of nowhere, and Luxor trying to rotate in, but Stake is going to boom it back downfield. It will be wide, and Luxor will be far back enough, but Nachitao has other ideas. He gets it off the crossbar. 60 seconds in this one. Justice, challenge, Stake, goes over to the corner, a minute remaining. They've still got a lot of potential for both sides. Again, this next goal could end up being the difference maker of this series and of Game 4.
Really could be, because you got to remember, this is series qualification point even for the 2-bin 1-bam side. Another goal here and stall it out and they're through. This has to be a reverse sweep and it's got to start now from Dev Rabbits. They need a goal now. Overtime could seal their fate. Oh, so close coming out from the 2-bin 1-bam side. Justice still trying to keep it going. And Steak lingers long enough to be able to put this all away. The absolute stones on this side to pull this off.
Justice and Steak combine again. And that might be a final nail in the coffin. They've got to break away, get a kickoff immediately on the part of the Dead Rabbits. It all comes up to the next 23 seconds as Mexa gets it out to the orange half. That's a good start, but Justice able to return all the same to the backboard as Luxor comes in, beaten out by Steak again. Casa Prima over to the corner. Nachital there to try and challenge on towards him. 10 seconds left. They've got to get a goal in as Justice comes up, as does Luxor. Booms it back down there, rotating for Pusto. Luxor's got to carry this on his own into the box. 2 players there to try and challenge. Nachital will boom it back down to the blue half. Casa Prima's on his back, and Mexa will try and hold down control. Justice keeps it alive, and Luxor with a bit of a chance, but not for long. 2-bin 1-bam, 3-0 in the series. Close for the Dead Rabbits towards the end of it, but it was a very, very dominant series on the part of the bin-bam side. Good stuff being shown, and they are the final team that qualified through the open qualifiers, Bake.
And I would argue the scariest team going into tomorrow. The 4 invited teams, if I hope some of them are watching today, because this is one that could upset them. Who knows? Because this 2-bin 1-bam side with their pace, their great passing play, Steak has always been known for that, to be able to set up teammates, and Nachital being able to receive them so quickly. This is a team that could cause a massive upset tomorrow. And talking about that, Jay, I think it's about time we announced our invited teams and a couple of little peculiar roster swaps on them, eh?
Yes, indeed. So for those of you just joining us now, I hope you have been watching that last series, but to confirm your final few teams, of course, Shizou, Bim Bam Gamers, ARG, and 2-bin 1-bam are the 4 teams that made it through the qualification. And of course, if you've been watching Liquipedia, you'll know that Veloce are invited, but they are in fact playing with iIgnite from Triple Trouble. Which is going to be a fun little...
That's a weird one. It's from TSM, but he was playing on Triple Trouble last week for the DreamHack qualifiers, and then he's playing with Triple Trouble at the Beyond the Summit tournament coming up in a few weeks' time. But no, tomorrow he's going to be playing on Veloce. To announce the second team tomorrow is Triple Trouble. And Jay, who are they playing with tomorrow?
Tylacto, our boy, apparently.
Yeah, so, that's going to be a peculiar one. A complete change in style for this Triple Trouble side, eh?
Absolutely, yes. So a couple of interesting roster swaps between those 2 teams. So you definitely want to keep your eyes on how they're going to perform. Another couple of teams as well, of course, some very big LAN performers in the Bricks who made it all the way through in the recent DreamHack Valencia. Couldn't quite make it all the way in via the qualifiers of the DreamHack Montreal qualifiers, but still a very reputable team and personally my favorites to win this whole thing.
Oh, yes. Yep, and then to round out the bunch is probably the second favorite team to win it. It is Complexity. Flakes, of course, staying with the roster, and here, $1,000 going to first place, $500 to second. These 2 teams iron up money and some safe money for them, they think. Anyway, who knows? That could all go awry tomorrow, so make sure you guys are tuning in for that.
Yeah, of course, just to give you a quick roundup of the full team list for tomorrow's matches from the qualifiers. Actual gamers, Shizou, ARG, 2-bin 1-bam, and your invitees, Veloce, Triple Trouble, The Bricks, and Complexity. And that is going to do it from us here at Rival Esports for another week of action. Baking, it's been too long since Rival Esports have done any weeks of action here in the EUC, and I love it. It's fantastic, it's brilliant, and it's going to be a fun day tomorrow because we're also back on the mics as well.
Yeah, we're going to be running out the second half of it. The first half, of course, will be done by the 2 lads that started today. It's going to be Jam and Hunted back tomorrow, so make sure you tune in on that. I'm just actually quickly grabbing the times for tomorrow to be sure so that I don't, give out the wrong times. It's going to be at 4 p.m. BST tomorrow that 5 p.m. CEST for everyone else in Europe, of course. So make sure you're ready and raring for that. I know I definitely will, Jay. Going to be tuning on in because it is going to be one hell of a tournament tomorrow. Summer opening is as hot as the weather we've got right now.
And it is hot, by the way. It is actually really hot.
Oh,
so
boy.
we're going to go and open some windows and get the heat out of here as we bring it back tomorrow. Again, that is at 4 o'clock BST, 5 o'clock CEST, where the final 8 teams will battle things off in a single elimination bracket to decide who will be your champions of the Summer Open. Until then, though, take care, and we'll see you soon.